All right, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Excited about what we're going to talk about today because we're going to talk about something. I don't know if I've ever done this on the channel, but we're going to be talking about what you can get for 300 to 500, but also for people that are interested in knowing what's going on in the market. It's going to help you understand where you need to place your home when you are thinking about selling. So both ways, right? Buying and selling, we're going to be looking at both. And so let's jump into it. Let's take a look at what is for sale between 300 and 500,000. This is exclusively for the Villages, in the Villages, Florida. So if you're not familiar with us, obviously we're a great retirement community with tons to do, thousands of different activities. And we're just located north of Orlando, south, about an hour north of Orlando, about 40 minutes south of Ocala, right in the middle of the state, and lots to do in this community, plenty to do. And a lot of people find something to do. If you can't find something to do here, you're not interested in doing things. So you shouldn't be bored in the Villages. That is for sure. So 300 to 500 is what we're looking at. As far as the price, there's 215 properties that are in between this price range, as you can tell here. So 215, and that means it's about 2/3 of the property on the market are going to be in this price range, right? So many people are moving from the Midwest, Northeast, out West, and moving in our direction. But let's take a look at what you can get for, let's say 300, right? Let's look at this. This one's on Amelia Avenue. It's in Summer Hill, which is kind of like right in between, a little bit closer to 466, right around the Savannah Center is about where this is. It's not too far away from that area, Amelia Villas. This is a patio villa for 300,000. It's been on the market for 30 days, meaning we're getting close to that time period. 45 days is about, that gives you a lot of an idea of whether you're going to be overpriced or if a property is priced correctly. So if it's more than 45 days and there hasn't been a price change, then obviously there's something wrong. I don't know that there could be something wrong with the property, but mostly what it is, it's price most of the time. And if it's on the market too long, but also pay attention. So if you're buying and you're looking at, okay, well, how many days has it been on the market? But how many days has it been on the market at the latest price? How many showings is it getting, at the latest price after a price reduction or a price adjustment? So some of the questions you could ask as a buyer. And as a seller, you really do want to be priced pretty appropriately. So, finding, something we do here at Realty Executives is try to price things appropriately, not give away homes, because we're not in the market of just, selling homes just to give them away, but to price them accordingly. So that way it'll take a reasonable amount of time, 30, 45, maybe 60 days, but we try to move at your speed whenever you're trying to sell. All right. So let's look at another model. There's several patio villas that are going to be in that 320 and below range. Let's look at something else that might be available. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, built in 2002, bond paid, which is not too surprising for something that was built in 2002. It's over 20 years old. New roof, which is important because we are seeing new roofs be very, very important, because if not, it could be an insurance issue. Now, this one's in Springdale, in the Village of Springdale, been on the market for 73 days. But going back to what we were talking about before, this one actually started out at $320,000 and now price reduction to $315,000. So it seems like it might still be overpriced. So, when you're looking at things that are built around 2002 and, this particular square footage, what was that? Was that a Bougainvillea? Let's see what that was. Let's see if it says the model. Does not. I don't see anything about the model here. So it sounds like, let's see if we can see something in here. Maybe we can tell by the interior. Once we get to the floor plan. No, it looks like, let's see, go back here. No, it looks like more, maybe like a Jasmine type model is what it looks like to me. So anyway, so let's keep going. Let's look at what else is for for sale. Let's see. 325. Let's move up the price range a little bit. So 3 to 325, you're looking at some of the smaller ones. You could get a pretty good deal. I'm looking at this one on Fontaine, which I have no idea if let's see who has this listed. Looks like a pretty good deal at 340. Been on the market for 55 days, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and not one of our listings. It was listed at 350, and now it's 340, and been on the market 55 days. 2003 was the year built, 1522 square feet. And let's see, this is a Willow, and there's no homes behind. So it looks kind of interesting. I mean, it looks like a pretty decent deal. And if you remember, a lot of times we're getting questions about, prices adjusting. I think prices have adjusted already, because I was looking at a particular property we sold about 18 months ago. And that one sold for, this was actually a patio villa, and it was very upgraded. That sold for $330,000. That same house probably sells for like $310 right now. So that would be, let's see, $20,000. It'd be a like 7 to 8% adjustment in homes that you can see a lot of. So, if you have like an Amarillo or a Bougainvillea or a patio villa, some of those have gone down in price for sure. Let's keep it going. Let's see what else. Let's go to like 375. Let's jump ahead. Let's look at like 375. What can you get for like 375? This one's on Azteca Loop, and this looks like a courtyard villa. It's turnkey and been on a market for 74 days. We're seeing more and more of that. Seeing more and more days on market, although we're seeing some properties, sell quicker. This is actually listed by our company, Realty Executives. 74 days on the market, 375 is the price. Built in 1999. So we could probably use an adjustment on that a little bit, but we're probably not that far away. We should look at pendings in a minute. Let's do that in a second. Let's go to like 400. What can you get for 400? I'm picking randomly here. Let's look at something that might be a little bit newer. This one's in Barrow Loop, built in 2015. So this is Alamanda designer property, 1559 square feet, 108 days on the market. Where did it start off at? It started at 419. So that tells you a lot. Went from 419 to 410. And, one thing I know is that we should really be looking at, we really need to look at making sure that you're not chasing the market. I think that's really, really important. That's really, really important, that you're not chasing the market. And that's what happens sometimes if you're not careful, that if you don't price it right, that you can get a price reduction and then nothing happens, and then nothing happens. And then people wonder, when you're looking at a home that's on the market for 3, 4, 5 months, oh, there must be something wrong. Well, you just didn't price it appropriately to begin with. And then as days on market occur, buyers wonder what's wrong with the property. And then they, either skip it over because they think, oh, I'm not sure, it's got to be something wrong. Nobody else liked it. I don't want to be the only one that likes it. So that's also the reason why when you price it right and you're getting interest early, people think, oh my gosh, I better jump on this. Nobody else has seen this, or they're about to take advantage of it because it's only been on the market for a few days. That's a nice position to be in, right? And I also know that if it's kind of like there's a kind of a saying, actually, we used to call it the 100th monkey rule. In other words, when a buyer is interested in a property, usually there are other people that become interested. And we've seen it before where a property could be on the market for, many months, and all of a sudden you get an offer after 4 or 5 months, and all of a sudden you get 2 or 3 offers right after that, especially when someone finds out, okay, wait, they're interested in that. Oh, we could have another offer coming in. Let's jump into it. And oftentimes what we've seen, very interestingly enough, is sometimes buyers think, oh, this is very fishy. I've heard that many times, like, oh, there's some shenanigans going on behind the scenes, but really there's not any shenanigans. there's actually a legitimate offer, even though like there's been nothing for months, and all of a sudden you get 3 offers, like just out of the blue. So it's super interesting. I think it's probably just human nature, is kind of stuff that typically, that's the kind of thing that could happen. So something to pay attention to for sure. Okay, so let's go back to MLS and let's look at what's available. Let me skip ahead. Let's go to like 439,000. This one is actually Sierra Blanca Court. This is right off of 466, right? Not too far away from Spanish Springs. 2,000 square feet, but it's been on the market for 132 days. And to my point, once again, 449 was the beginning price, has been reduced to by $10,000. Let's see if there's something. Let's go look at. Let me see if we can find something a little bit newer. Let's look at this 2019. This is on Bacon Terrace, 435, 1531 square feet. And this one is 5131. It's been on the market 31 days. Okay, Bacon Terrace, and started off at 435. So that tells you something there. Let's go all the way to 500 this time. Let's see what looks like. Let's look at. By the way, I have to share this. I'm getting a great text from one of our friends. What's your favorite restaurant, by the way? What's your favorite restaurant? What's your favorite restaurant in the Villages? Or what's your favorite? You live in the Villages. What's your favorite restaurant to go to? So maybe in the Villages, could be in Ocala, might be Orlando, that type of thing. I just got a text. One of our favorite restaurants. We got a couple. Mark's Prime is a great restaurant in Ocala that we like to go to, and it came down to either the couple of restaurants in World Equestrian Center that are both good, Yellow Pony and Stirrups, or Mark's. Mark's just happens to be close to my house, so I'm in favor of going to Mark's tonight. That's what we're going to do at 6:30, 5:15 right now. Let me know what your favorite restaurant is. I want to hear. All right, so let's go to this one's for 500. Let's see, 499.5. This one's on Nielsen Court. This is nice, right? This is actually super interesting. Let me blow this up a little bit, and that we get a better shot. It's kind of an interesting home. Okay, there's some pictures here. Tells you what you can get and what things go for. Obviously, look, this is just, let's go back here, has a little bit of a view, right? Golf course. So this one is, the description is 1484 Cartwright Villa, great view. It's actually off of the Longleaf Golf Course and Pond, and it's also turnkey. So it looks like a pretty good value, going for 500. So it goes across the board depending on where you are, right? Been on the market for 65 days, and it was 5095 before. So a price reduction there, but still on the market after 2 months. So now let's look at the properties that are pending right now. So we're going to look at pending properties. Pending properties can be interesting. This will give you a little bit more understanding as to what you can actually get. So going to put this in. We want to put Villages, and some of Lady Lake incorporates the Villages. We're also going to do 300 to 500. If you have questions, call us, by the way, 352-572-3796. Also have property management. And by the way, that's really busy right now. People looking to still book for the season. And it's, December 8th. So we've got 75 properties under contract. And, this is also proof, I have to say this, sometimes let me stop sharing and you can actually, let's take a look at each other on this. A lot of times I hear, and I always laugh because I think, the Property of the Villages does a really good job. I'm not going to disparage anybody for sure. And we do a great job too, because I know our people do, their hearts are really into trying to serve the community. But I always think it's funny when someone says, do you guys sell any properties? So, we sell a lot of properties. Like, people don't realize how many properties we sell. And I think the important thing is not how many properties people are selling, but what's the service they're going to provide to actually make sure that your experience is the best it possibly can be. So this is the reason why I say that. I was just kind of looking at, to me, it's what we're looking at now is really the proof that, okay, we do sell properties. These are the under contract, 75 properties that are under contract between 300 and 500. So on the low end, we've got something here pending at 300, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1460. This is an Austin model at 300, a pretty good value, right? Like that's a pretty good value. Okay, so that's that. A little bit bigger property too. What else is pending? Let's look at maybe something a little bit newer. These are like, say, 2000 on a lower scale, right? Like 1996, 2008. This one's on Harston Place, 2008. Village of Amelia. It's a little cottage that's pending for $339,900. Give you an idea of what things are going for as well. Buyer side or seller side, depending on what you are. It gives you a perspective, a little bit of perspective. This one in Hollow Branch Way, $399,900. Bond is paid. This is actually in St. Charles, the Village of St. Charles, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Jasmine model, $400,000, and looks pretty nice, right? Not perfect, but looks pretty good. Was that a peacock? Curious. Let's see. What is that? Yeah, it's a peacock. Peacock in the picture. So that tells you something there. Let's look at the price ranges. Let's go up. Let's see, $469,000 on Jessup. So this was built in 2007 and this is a Gardenia model, which is a very popular model, also with the golf cart garage on the side. $469,000, pending for $469,000, give you an idea. All right. And of course, look, there's going to be variances depending on what kind of property you have or are looking for. Does it have a view? Does it have a pond view? Does it have a golf course, or there's some green space, or it doesn't have a kissing lanai, meaning you're not bumped up against the neighbor? There's a lot of different factors, right? And depending on where you are, the values can go up depending on what you've got. Let's see, one more thing. Let's see, at $489,000, let's look at this last one on Brinkley Lane, $489,900. And this one is an Elm Designer. Okay. A little quick shot there. Looks pretty sharp. Looks like it's got some upgrades. And been on the market 86 days. Kind of tells you a little bit. And actually started. Let's see if there's any. Okay. Just went, actually came down from 535. So it's kind of interesting. It tells you a lot there. 535 not too high for the property, but then actually went down to $489,900 and took a couple of months to get there, and then finally goes under contract. That's kind of the cadence. Tells you a lot, right? And I think getting to the right price, you can really figure it out once you're on the market. So there's a quick synopsis of what 300 to 500 looks like. 300,000 to 500,000. You got a quick idea of, if you're buying, this is what's available. And if you're selling, this is what's actually selling. Those pending properties that we looked at give you a really good idea as to what the market is doing right now. And it's pretty healthy. That's really what we're seeing, a healthy marketplace. It's not the busiest it's been, but I think it's very, very balanced. And I think that really speaks well and speaks positively as to the long-term health of the market. So hope everybody has a great weekend. Let me know. I want to hear favorite restaurant. Put it in the chat. I want to hear from you. And until next time, we'll see you soon. Take care.